When it comes to beauty, you mentioned that you are transparent about that. At this point, how far have you gone with it?
Elaborate the question.
When it comes to cosmetic procedures, what have you had done up until this point?
Never touched my face once. Touched my titties twice. Touched my stomach twice. Touched this ass twice. Touched these hips once. That's it. That's the truth. But with my boobs, I didn't go bigger. I went smaller. I got breast reduction twice. My titties was always super fucking big, especially after pregnancy and having my son. It was like fucking granny titties. Like, them titties was like, I was too small for them big ass titties hanging like that. So I got a breast reduction. Over time, they grew back. My titties grew back too big and too full. So then I got another breast reduction. So that's the 2 times I touched my boobs. A lot of girls want to get their boobs bigger, but my experience was different. I wanted my boobs smaller, so I got them smaller twice. Just like everybody else, I wanted my ass bigger, so I got my ass bigger twice. And I wanted my stomach smaller, so I got my stomach smaller twice. But I've never touched my face at all. That's everything. Touch my titties twice, touch my stomach twice, touch my ass twice. Titties smaller twice, ass bigger twice, stomach smaller twice. I recommend it if that's what the fuck you want. Shit. Everybody, especially if you got a baby, you can get a mommy makeover and make that nigga pay for it. Shit.
Now, speaking of that, you do have a son that you had at 19. You mentioned that previously in a portion of questions. So all this body work, this was done after you have your child.
Yes, I didn't have anything done before I had my baby. After I had my baby is when everything transpired. And it was a reason. Because babies do a lot of wear and tear on your body. They really do. My titties was perfect. I had perfect fucking Baywatch titties. Then I had fucking great granny titties. That shit was weak as fuck for the birds.
Do you remember what age you were when you had your first cosmetic procedure?
I don't remember it. I gotta think back.
Child at 19, maybe how many years after that before you get your body worked on for the very first time?
It's like 5 years later.
About 24.
Yep.
And care to share what procedure that was, the very first one?
Breast reduction. Lipo BBL. I'm too honest. What you think?
No.
I'm not. Should I keep it a secret? I think they know anyway.
All right, you know.
And any complications from any of these procedures?
None. I did my research. I went to somebody who didn't have any deaths. I went to somebody who I knew other people who I went to, and their results were fine, and everything was fine.
There is a debate on getting cosmetic procedures inside versus outside the United States. Where do you stand on that at this point?
I like to go outside the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, they snatching bitches something different over there. The snatch is different. The laws is different. They're taking out way more fat than they are over here in the United States. Is it a bigger risk? Yes. Is it worth the risk if you're healthy? Yes. If you're not a healthy person, for overall, I wouldn't recommend it. I would stay home in the United States. But if you are healthy, like I am and I was, then I would go over there and I would get a bigger snatch for a better price.
And care to share where outside the United States you received any of these procedures?
I went to Colombia both times. And I would go back again for the third time.
And that was for everything, was in Colombia.
Yeah, everything I did was in Colombia.
Care to share the name of your doctor?
I'm not sharing the name of my doctor. If you know, you know. They gonna have to pay for that promo. Shit. Hello? What you working with, doctor? Pay that coin, the bitch is gonna come get snatched.
And
Some people already know though. But I just don't want to just like broadcast it for free.
And none of this was done for promo.
No. I never promoted a doctor.
Everything was paid for.
Yeah, I get offers. I get offers all the time for different, surgeries and procedures for promo. But I never accepted it because they don't be the best people to me. I'd rather pay for what I know that I want.
Care to share how much you've spent on your body?
About $30,000.
Was that amount of money you spent worth it?
Hell yeah. See this shit? I could have bought an AP, but instead I bought a body. Hell yeah, I would do it again. It was worth $30,000 for sure. If I did it in the if all the shit that I did was in the United States, I'd probably be at $50,000, $60,000.
And when it comes to being transparent, there are some females that aren't. Why are you?
I am because it's like, why lie? You know what I'm saying? When you tell one lie, now you gotta go on with the lie for so fucking long, and that's just too much energy and stress that I'm good on. I feel like when you are transparent and when you are more blunt, it's more of a stress-free because you told the truth. You don't really have to worry about, someone coming up saying you were lying or people trying to catch you in a lie. I don't got time for that. Bitches be so secretive about the work that they got done, like we can't fucking see. Bitch, we see them lips turned up like a motherfucking pillow hole. We see them cheeks poking out like you motherfucking The Mask. Bitch, we know what a natural ass look like. We know what natural titties look like. So it's like, we could tell if you got lipo, like, this shit ain't natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average woman who didn't have any work done, who looked like all of us before the work, does not look like us after the work. So the lies are kind of like redundant and obnoxiously ignorant to me because we fucking know. So it's like, I can't stand a bitch that sit up and lie and we know. Like, ho, is you dumb? We could see, bitch. Anybody with eyes can see because things have just been changing over time. And, we can see the bodies from 2010 compared to the bodies from 2020. Like, we see the trends and the things that are happening. So what the fuck are you hoes lying for? We can tell if a bitch got ass shots. It's very visible. We can tell an ass shot booty compared to a BBL. We can fucking see. Like, bitch, try that shit with Stevie Wonder, bitch, because we can see. So I just don't understand why hoes be lying about shit we already know.
And speaking of that, what is the hint there from someone with the shots versus the non-shots?
Just a big difference from a shot booty and a BBL booty. It's a very big difference from the appearance and from the feel. It's a big difference. I mean, ass shots was a wave. Everybody rode it. They rode it to the point where you can't, of no return. And it's like kind of like backfiring on a lot of people. And, I just feel, for those women, because society kind of like pushed you to do these things. Granted, you didn't have to do it if you didn't want to. So, bitch, stand on that shit, own up to your mistakes. Like I would if it was me. But still, it was like a rush for a body type, for the appearance in the industry and like Hollywood type things. And it's just a big difference. You can tell because the ass shots, they just look different 10 years later as opposed to a BBL. It looks kind of like, because I think it's your actual fat and not an unknown substance, I think it's a very big difference.
Now, were you ever almost one of the victims of those shots?
I was a victim of the shots. I got a round of shots. And you want to know what? It was the worst decision I ever fucking made. I got a round of shots before I ever had any surgery. I just wanted a quick ass, you know, a quick little ass. And I knew people who had shots, and it kind of like made me feel like, okay, it's cool, I can go. And I went, and I was being a pussy. And I'm glad now that I was a pussy, because at the time you can get like a small, medium, or large. And I got a small being scary. And my friend who accompanied me to the appointment and the person who was doing it was telling me, like, you're not going to see a difference with a small. They was like, your body frame, you're so small. If you really want to see a difference with your first session, you have to get a large. They were already advising me that you needed more than one session to gradually get the look that you wanted. But they don't do it all at once with the shots. So, you know, I was showing like inspiration pics, and they were like, you're going to have to come like 3 or 4 times. But for the first time to see a difference at all, you need a large. And I was like, large sounded crazy to me. I'm like, man, I'm not coming large my first time. I'm scared. So I got a small. And to be honest, after I got the small, I couldn't see a difference at all. Nobody noticed anything. I noticed I had a little extra plump, a little jiggle, but it wasn't a big deal. And you also couldn't get butt and hips at the same time. So I only got a small butt, and you couldn't really tell. But what I had to endure to get it, it was so fucking barbaric. Like, I'm glad that I only went once, and I'm glad that I only got a small, because I should have never went at all. And I feel like I know people who got complications because they got multiple rounds, and it becomes a health hazard. And I think that I haven't had any health issues at all because I only went once and I got a small. Most of the people who I know who actually had an issue, they went many times and they didn't get a small. So yeah, I actually did. After that, I didn't see a difference. I'm like, damn, I paid my little $800. I don't even see no difference. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pay for the surgery. And that's when I just stacked up my money at the time and I went and got a BBL. And I finally saw a difference. So I recommend every woman out there, all the flat booty, little booty bitches that I once was, if you want to enhance your bottom and make your butt bigger, don't get shots. Just get the right thing and get a BBL, because those are your only 2 options unless you're going to do like a weight gain, like a pediment or something like that. And even still, if genetically you don't have big butts that run in your family, the weight not going to go to your butt. So before you get a shot, I definitely recommend you don't do what I did. Go straight and get a BBL.
Now, generally speaking here with these next set of questions in regards to cosmetic procedures as a whole with your entire journey, what did this entire experience of cosmetic procedures, all the ones that you've done, the ones that you've named, what did that teach you? What did you learn from all of this, if anything? What did you take away from this?
What I just said, don't get no ass shots. It ain't worth it. Other than that, do your research on your doctors. Make sure they don't got no deaths. You would hate to be the next motherfucker on the shade room. Family crime because you done lost your life over some bullshit. No cosmetic surgery is worth losing your life. So make sure you do the proper research and go to the right people. And just make sure you do everything you're supposed to do as far as aftercare. That is a very big thing. I know a lot of bitches who went and got surgery and they look like they didn't have surgery. And that's because them bitches, they paid for the surgery but didn't pay for the aftercare. You know, any type of lipo, you have to get those massages. You have to do those things, and that shit costs. The amount of massages that you have to get after the surgery is going to damn near cost half the surgery by the time you're done, if you do it the amount of time that's necessary for those results. I see bitches that be like, damn, I had lipo, I had this and that, I don't look like you. These bitches are not getting their massages. They're going to get the surgery, they're getting at the table, and that's all they're doing. Wear your faja, You know, they not wearing their fajas. They getting off the table. They right back outside when you need to wear that faja. They recommend wear it for 3 months. I wore mine for 6 months. So when you put that extra work in after, you're going to get better results.
Aside from the shots, if you could turn back the hands of time, would you have done anything different with any of these cosmetic procedures you had?
No.
Do you miss your natural body at all?
Not at all. Titties was big as fuck after my baby. Like, nigga, I look like somebody's grandma, nigga, at 20, bro, when I took my bra off. That shit was not cute. I didn't like that. When you take a bra off and your titties are so fucking big and hanging down and you so small, I'm too short, I'm too small, my frame was too small for the breasts that I had. I don't miss it. I don't miss those titties. My titties keep growing back because genetically, big titties run in my family. I'm going to go back to get them bitches smaller again. I don't miss it. I like what I did. I'm happy about everything that I've done.
Do you know what size that was at that peak?
I was like a fucking 4H. And at that point, I'm fucking 20 and I can't even buy bras from Victoria's Secret. Do you know how that feels? Do you know how that feels to go shopping with your friends and everybody's buying bras from Victoria's Secret, but you can't buy them because your breasts are too big and you're probably like the youngest out the group? I have to go buy my bras from Nordstrom because my breasts are so big. My breasts are too big for a 20-year-old. It's just not a good feeling. It doesn't feel good when you're going shopping with your friends and you can't buy halter tops or strapless tops because everything that you wear has to have a thick strap because you have to wear a bra. All the big titty bitches, they know what I'm talking about.
And just for clarification, both times you got a breast reduction, was there ever a lift as well? Or
both times it was a reduction and a lift. You gotta pick them bitches up. When them bitches drop down, you pick them hoes up. We fall down, but we get up. They fell down, but they got up. Twice, nigga. And if they fall down again, I'm gonna do it a third time. I don't give a fuck.
That moment in time when you were an H, did you suffer from any back issues?
Yes, I still suffer from back issues to this day. All my life, I was cracking my back, doing all this twisting and turning because I have this. It's a literal weight on your shoulders. Like, to this day, my shoulders is big, like a linebacker. All because of me carrying that weight for so long. It definitely causes back problems and aches and pains for sure. And you know what? To the point where your insurance will cover the breast reduction, but they won't give you an implant. So I just pay for it.
Care to share what size you are at this point?
34 double D, baby. You see them veins coming out the motherfucker? It ain't even no milk in these bitches. And I had 2 breast reductions and they still like this now.
Now, what did you wish you knew before you got any of these cosmetic procedures, if anything?
I knew everything. One thing about me, I'm a thorough bitch. I dot all my I's, I cross all my T's before I make a vast decision. I did thorough research before I did these things, which is one of the main reasons why I didn't have a surgery until, 4 or 5 years after I had a kid.
Now, are you able to define thorough research?
Google. I'm just saying. No, for real. Google, background checks on the doctors, previous issues that they may have had. Also, just like, obviously on the net, and then talking to your doctor. When you deal with like gynecologists, which is a female, body part doctor, and they go and they feel your breast and they do all those things, mammograms, because to make sure, I had a mammogram before I even went through any breast surgery to make sure I didn't have any lumps or cancerous growths or stuff like that. You gotta really be thorough before you do some shit, because I had a kid and I wasn't about to play around. Especially I was going out the country, I was coming back.
Anything else you want to mention about cosmetic procedures or question you weren't asked? People want to know about any of this stuff.
Nope.